3 harvests had passed since Ugonabo the liar was banished into the forest of no return. Peace returned to Indiuno, but it was a different peace, heavier, more watchful. The people had seen how close lies could burn down even the most sacred village. And so, every festival they now ended with a new chant. Oji Anagi Asi Asi. The Kola does not lie. But fate, fate, is like a palm tree in the wind. It bends, it twists, and one day, it snaps. That day came when the Igwe of Indiuno, the old and wise King Anozi, took his final breath. He died in his sleep, a smile on his lips, the sacred feather resting at his feet. The land wept, women shaved their heads, men lay on bare earth. The trees were silent for 7 days, and when the morning passed, the question rose, who will be king now? By tradition, the royal feather must choose. But this time, something strange happened. The feather refused to move, even when placed in the wind, even when held before the shrine of the ancestors. It stayed still. The Dibia, the high priestess, declared, "This time the ancestors do not wish to choose with feathers. They have chosen Oji." The people gasped. The Kola will choose the next Igwe. Never before had this happened. But the spirits had spoken, and so a sacred gathering was called. All of Ndiuno, and even chiefs from Nuri, Igbo Ukwu, and Auka, gathered in the grand square. A giant wooden bowl was carved from the trunk of the first Iroko tree ever blessed. Inside it, the Dibia placed 7 kola nuts, 1 for each clan of Indiuno. "Let every noble son come forward," she said, "and touch the kola. The one that splits is the chosen." One by one they came. Ikena, son of warriors, nothing. Obina, rich in land and yam barns, nothing. Chisholm, the people's favorite, nothing. One after the other, the kola remained still, but just as doubt began to grow, a figure stepped forward, a stranger, tall, barefoot, clad in bark cloth, skin the color of deep earth, eyes like storm clouds. The Dibia frowned. "Who are you?" she asked. The crowd murmured. The man said, "My name is Ezubechi. I was born beneath the roots of the great Oji tree. I have no father, no mother, only the wind and the whispering kola to guide me. But the spirits sent me here. They said, 'Go to Indiuno, it is time.'" The elders scoffed. "A madman, a trickster." But the Dibia, she saw the mark on his forehead, the triple dot, the sign of the untouched. She nodded slowly. "Let him touch the bowl." Ezubechi stepped forward. He placed his palm over the kola. Suddenly, one of the nuts shook. It rolled on its own. It rose into the air and then cracked itself open with a burst of golden dust. Inside was not just a seed, but a tiny crown, carved from ivory. The crowd fell silent. Even the birds stopped mid-flight. And the Dibia said, "The spirits have chosen. The kola has spoken." But not everyone clapped. From the shadows, Ugonabo, still alive, still watching, clenched his fists. In his exile, he had gathered strength. He had met others, bitter souls, rejected men, old rivals from other kingdoms. He had not returned to ask for forgiveness. He had returned to claim what he believed was his, and as the people raised Ezubechi and shouted, "Igwe, Igwe, Igwe," Ugonabo whispered to the night, "Kola may choose a king, but blood will test him." The drums of coronation shook the hills of Indiuno. From Obosi to Arachukwu, dignitaries arrived. The sacred dancers of Nsuka performed under moonlight. Children sang the praises of the chosen one, Ezubechi, Igwe from the roots of spirits. And in the center of the village square, beneath the great Oji tree, the new king stood, crowned in ivory and cloth of light. But above the joy, beneath the chants, behind the smiles, a shadow moved. Ugonabo had returned, not in shame, not in chains, but cloaked in darkness, leading the forgotten. Men with scars and spirits. Men banished, bruised, broken. Men who no longer believed in Oji, because once the Kola had lied. The signal came at midnight. A horn, not from the hills but from the spirit forest. Suddenly, boom, the sky turned red, not from fire, but from burning Kola dust, black magic, forbidden for centuries. The dust fell like ash, covering faces, choking mouths, turning joy to confusion. Ezubechi looked to the Dibia. "What is this?" she said, trembling. "This is not from the ancestors. This is from the forgotten ones." The warriors of Ugonabo burst through the gathering. Screams erupted. Flames licked at the shrine. Children were dragged. Drums split in panic. And at the center of the chaos, Ugonabo rose, tall, proud, dressed in war cloth and bones. He faced Ezubechi. "I warned you," he growled. "You wear a crown gifted by nut and wind, but I wear a crown forged in pain." He raised a bowl. Inside was a burning Kola, black, twisted, hissing. "With this," he bellowed, "I end the lie of kingship." He threw it. But just before it struck, Ezubechi caught it with bare hands, and the nut exploded, but not in flame, in light, blinding, golden, ancestral light. From that light rose the voices of the original 7 ancestors of Induno. They circled Ezubechi, and they spoke with one voice. Truth has been tested, blood has been spilled, but destiny cannot be burned. And they turned to Ugonabo. "You, son of envy, you who tried to break fate with fire, you shall speak no lie again." With a thunderclap, his tongue turned to stone. He fell, crawling, eyes wide, as his voice left him forever. And the burning Kola, it turned into a tree, rooted where it fell, glowing with sacred light. From that day on, it was called Uto Oji, the sweet Kola that silenced lies. King Ezubechi ruled with wisdom and mystery. He never forgot that kingship was not in crowns, but in truth. And every year at the foot of the glowing tree, he broke a Kola nut and asked, "Shall we speak truth or shall we lie?" And the people always answered, "Truth, even when it hurts." And so ends the tale of the Kola that saw lies, the cousin who betrayed, the stranger who rose, and the truth that outlived them all. My people, if this story moved your spirit, if it made you think twice about truth, envy, and destiny, then don't just walk away. Hit that like button to show that African stories still carry fire. Smash the subscribe button so you never miss another tale from the roots of our ancestors. And share this story with someone who needs to hear that truth always finds a way, no matter how long it hides. Now I want to hear from you. What lesson did you learn from When Kolanut Lies? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Until next time, remember, Oji Anagi Asi Asi. The Kola does not lie. Stay rooted, stay wise, stay African.